Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk today about how to use freedom of maneuvers or maneuver to supersize and grow your business. It also appears, this idiom, this expression, freedom of maneuvers or maneuver, often is called room for maneuver, freedom of movement, similar things, but it always means the space and ability to make changes to something. The chance to change the way that something happens, or that a way to influence decisions and how decisions are made. So freedom of maneuver just means we have options, right? We have different opportunities to choose alternatives, choose different solutions, do things differently than we might have in the past. This is a relatively new expression or new idiom. It came about in about the 1970s when somebody named Wiley proposed maneuver warfare. And so it comes from the military. It probably has been around a lot longer than the 1970s, but the 1970s is the furthest I could trace it back initially on my initial look into what the heck does this idiom mean. I wanted to look for something about freedom since today is America's birthday, 4th of July in the United States, and we are celebrating our independence. And it's always a fun time to look for things that we appreciate, that we enjoy here as Americans, and freedom is probably the most important thing that the majority of us enjoy. It was so fun last night to go down to the fireworks. We actually had fireworks in our community. We didn't have them last year due to COVID-19, and so it was so fun to go down and see all the people and participate, and everybody sitting on blankets watching an amazing fireworks show in our small town. And it just felt like we had those freedoms that we missed so much last year back again. There's lots of different ways and using freedom to maneuver in our businesses to grow and supersize our businesses. One thing I found that I thought was really interesting is there are 6 actual forms of maneuver according to, I don't remember what the source was, something on the internet. But we think that so often when we have a challenge or we're faced with a change or something happens like COVID-19, that we are frozen and we can only do one of 2 options. We can only operate the way we've always operated, or we're shut down completely. But this studying the different forms of maneuver allows us to open our minds and look for different solutions. So what are these 6 forms of maneuver? Number 1, envelopment, meaning surrounding something. Number 2, flank attack, rear attack, side attack. 3, frontal attack. 4, infiltration. 5, penetration. And 6, turning point. Or a turning movement, not turning point, a turning movement, or a pivot. I think of a turning movement as a pivot, a change in direction. Now, a lot of us in 2020 had an opportunity in our businesses and in our personal lives and in the education of our children and in our health and in our well-being and in our finances and in pretty much every area and aspect of our life. We had the opportunity, or the change that was forced upon us, however you choose to look at it. I choose to look at it as an opportunity to exercise our flexibility, our ability to choose, our opportunity to see and change and do things differently than we ever have in the past. And that applied to our personal life as well as our businesses. Many of our businesses, mine not so much, but a lot of people's and a lot of the businesses that I work with, found that they had to make massive changes in direction, massive changes in focus in order to survive and thrive through the past, it's been 18 months now. It has been well over a year, 18 months, coming up on 18 months by the end of the summer, that a lot of our businesses look nothing like they did a year ago. And some people are very grateful for that because their businesses are open and thriving now and they were shut down completely. And other people actually have thrown in the towel, not thrown in the towel, but have allowed this to be the opportunity that they change direction and they've let their businesses go. It's always up to us. We have to remember that we always are free to choose. Free to choose, maybe not the circumstances that are happening outside of us, but we're always free to choose our response, what we're going to do about it, how we're going to react. And what I like about the 6 forms of maneuver is they remind us that there's a lot more than 1 or 2 options. It's not ever black and white. It's not ever do or die. It's not ever good or evil. There's all kinds of variations between the 2. And it's up to us to decide what of those opportunities, what are those possibilities, what are those variations we are going to partake in order to ensure that our business continues to grow and thrive. I challenge you today to think about some of the different ways, and using the different forms of maneuver, you could look at your business differently or do things differently in your business. I'm going to explore, I've already done the pivot one, the turning movement one. So I'm going to think about, well, what are some ways that I could infiltrate my industry and find groups of people to serve that are maybe being underserved? What are some ways I can penetrate my market or my industry with marketing efforts or campaigns that I haven't done that I always could do? What are some ways I could envelope my ideal customers in the bigger industry, bigger market that I happen to be a part of? What are some campaigns or frontal attacks or flank attacks? Do I directly go after frontal attack the people that I'm trying to serve and that I want to attract? Or do I do a flank attack? Do I go around and do I do some more subtle marketing? Different things work for different people, but it's all things that we could use. I guess we could use all these maneuvers and think about, how do we do our marketing? How do we get people to know about our business using different options, different possibilities, different maneuvers? That's it. That is our idiom, our expression for today. I would love to hear your experience with maneuvering or strategy or tactics that work for your business, especially during these crazy times that we've all experienced in COVID-19. Share those in the comments below so we can all learn from one another. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'm going to go celebrate the 4th of July with my family. We've got a big fireworks show for the family and fireworks business coming up tonight, so that'll be awesome and fun. And I'm hanging out with my granddaughter today, so her parents can go kayaking with friends and have an awesome day in the sun. Looks like a beautiful day for weather, so I invite you to go out and have your absolute best day ever. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business and maybe even in your life right now? Take care.